Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to We Are Going Old School. A good friend of mine came around my house the other night and dropped me a red box off, the one that you can see on the screen here. Now this is the airbrush brand Paasche, and these have been going since 1904, so they've been around a long time, guys. Now I do own two other Paasche airbrushes. I think these are the H range. I've got a small one here, so drop your comments, guys, because I'm not too clued up on the Paasche ranges. We've got this one here, which is sort of a smaller version with a single action trigger. You'd probably put a cup to the side or a jar at the bottom. And I've also got the supposedly like the daddy of this one, which is the next size up, which is the bigger one. Again, very old, single action. And I've had a jar on the bottom of this one before, but they work absolutely fine for a single action airbrush. Now, the one that came in the red box is the VJR, guys, which is a double action airbrush, which is this one here. So in really good condition, all the bits in the box from original, and the brush itself, I've looked on Google at this brush and there's been a couple of versions of this. And I do believe that this is the earlier model, so it's around probably early 70s, mid 70s, might be going up to like 80s, mid 80s when they finished it. Drop your comments, as I say, because I'm not that clued up on the Paasche range of brushes. But this one has got, just behind the cup, it's got a little dial that you move sort of left and right, and that dials in your trigger. Now, after looking at this, I was wondering what it was. And then I did a little spray test off camera and I could see, and now I know why they did it. On an original airbrush to the back, you've got your paint adjust just here. So you dial this right in, that stops your trigger. Then when you start to move this out, you start to get your fluid. It just like it sets your trigger for like how much fluid's coming out the front of the brush. Now on the Paasche brush, when you dial this one in here behind the cup, it instantly brings your trigger back, so it's giving you paint straight away. You're not starting from no paint and then pulling back to a set trigger adjust on the back of a normal brush. So it turns it into a single action airbrush, basically the same as that. So you instantly press down. So a very well thought out brush, because it gives you the single action motion. So if you're used to single action airbrush like them old H's, or you can wind that right in and use it on the double action, but you're going to see this in the spray demo in a minute. A little bit more about the brush. This is a 0.25 needle and nozzle in this. You get a protective cap to the front that just sits over, that's metal, that sort of clips over the head of the brush here, round the front there, and then you've got your air cap to the front. Now most up-to-date brushes, you take the crown cap off and you can work with the crown cap off, so you can see your needle. So if you get tip dry, you can quickly pinch and clean the front of your needle. But on the VJR, you have to work with this cap on, because when you take this one off, it exposes the needle and the actual nozzle inside the brush there. As you can see, you've got the needle and the nozzle exposed. So this, you have to work with it on. So tip dry, you have to sort of change the way you paint with this brush. You have to sort of paint for a moment, move back, press down, blast through some air, and just quick move back on the trigger, blast again, and that just cleans the front of your brush and you can continue on. You've got a small cup to the top, which I like. It's, if you went any lower, it'd be like the Sotar Slim, where you've got the scallop to the front there. This is a tiny little cup to the top, quite flat inside the cup as well, so quite easy to clean. As I found out, just get one cotton bud, quick wipe round in the cup, blast through, and it's clean and you're good to go. Trigger top, very comfortable, nice responsive trigger on this. Round cap to the top, so you've got plenty of room to put your finger and find your sweet spot for you when you paint. So a very thought out built brush, very nice, guys. Simple bit to the back. This is just molded plastic that's got a thread and you screw it into the body. You've got your needle chuck inside this piece here, and you've got the adjuster just to take the tension in your trigger. So if you want a softer trigger, you can open that up, or if you want to give it a little bit more tension in your trigger pulling back, you can just dial that in. So that's basically it. Other things you get in the box is a spanner. They even put a little like airbrush hanger that you can mount to your table, so that's in the box as well. So that's it for the brush. We will jump into the spray demo and I'll show you the spray pattern. We'll do a few lines, a few little dots, a little bit of shading and a little chat along the way. So I'll see you in the next step. Right guys, we have got the air line, as you can see. We've just pushed the hose on, but we've got 22, 23 PSI coming out of the brush. You've got a small cup to the top, so a little bit of paint. So I'm going to drop a couple of drops of water in first. And then we're going to use the FW inks. Do one good drop of ink. Little back bubble. Like that. Pull this through. We'll just check, see if we've got some paint. So about 2 inches off the panel, just bringing that paint on really lightly. And if you go sort of full, that's sort of half trigger. Then you've got full back. So that's the sort of spray pattern you're getting on dots. You can get further down on the dots. Just go a little bit closer. This paint is a little bit thin. So it does get down on the little dots. They're not minutely small. We'll try some lines. Just getting used to this brush now. So atomise is really nice. Nice soft spray pattern with this. So a comfortable brush that does get down. Just atomises really well guys. It was like when I picked this up, I tried it before the review. I had a little test with it and I just thought it really atomises well. So they're sort of little tests of sort of like the capability of like a full spray, but just atomises, as you can see, just atomises it really, really nice and soft. Now I mentioned at the beginning you've got a paint dial here, so just move the trigger back to start to bring this out. Try that. And then what you do is you literally, that's giving you paint instantly, so you can use it as a single action like that. If you dial that out a little bit more, and you use it like the original Paasche that I showed you at the beginning, you can use it as a single action, and then just dial that back, take that all the way back, lock it off, and then you've got your double action back. So it is versatile on both settings. If you're used to using a single action, this brush would be brilliant for you because it's got the best of both worlds. But it just, I love the way it atomises. And it does get down when you need it to get down on them thinner type lines. So yeah, really nice to get given this. One for the collection. It's nice and easy to clean. Just literally drop some water in there. Usually get a cotton bud and just wipe the cotton bud round because it's a very flat bottom on the on the actual cup at the bottom it's quite flat, and there's a little hole where the paint goes down to the front. But trigger, really comfortable. You've got like a dome on the top, so you've got plenty of room for your finger when you're holding the brush. As I say, nice and light as well. You've got a full view, so it does get down on detail. It's a 0.25 in this. Gets down on detail nice, atomizes really well. Comfortable brush that you could use for long periods of time because it's nice and light. You've got full view. So the Paasche VJR, guys, for a vintage brush, if you've seen one of these about, I'll give it a thumbs up because it's just a very nice, well-made brush that just works. I mean, this is probably early 70s, latest probably mid 80s, and it's absolutely immaculate. It really is in good condition. So it's been a joy to share this with you on a vintage brush. I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe, press that notification, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.